Hello again, beautiful star seeds, cosmic beings, volunteers, old souls, cosmic family members. Hello and welcome back to another Monday at 5:55 or 2:55 live video. How are you guys today? How are you guys this week? And of course, as always, where are you from in the world? I love seeing the global reach that a platform like this can have. And special welcome to all of my members, especially the new ones. Yeah, just super grateful to be here, super grateful to have all of you here. Today, I'm going to go over the 3 steps in how to become multidimensional. And before we get to that, I want to define what multidimensional means and what that really means to you, and a couple of other things that you should really be aware of in stepping into that. So we've got, who do we have? Sweden, we've got Amsterdam, Netherlands, awesome, Vegas, Norway. Hi, Mom. Fantastic. Australia, great. Hopefully everyone's hanging in there. We are all experiencing the same reality. I mean, how cool is that? That we're all getting sucked into the same reality, but we have different perceptions on that. So I hope all of you are hanging in there wherever you are in the world. I hope that you feel more excited these days than fear. Because there are 2 sides to the coin. And that's all I'm going to say about what's really going on. I want to let you know that I just recorded a couple of new podcasts. I also recorded a couple of new videos for Instagram. And I recorded 2 incredible new interviews with beautiful individuals who I will be featuring on my YouTube channel. So lots of great content coming at all of you moving forward. Okay, and as always, if you really enjoy my content and you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel for more incredible videos, especially ones that you resonate with. And if something really strikes you, something's really deep or something really hits home for you, always appreciated super chats, donations, but as always, totally unnecessary. Subscription is really kind of the best thing for more content. The first thing that I want to mention when we're talking about your multidimensional selves, stepping into your power, understanding who you are, is that you are already multidimensional. Okay? You are already multidimensional. So as much as we're going to dive into how you step into that frequency and how you explore the frequency of your multidimensional selves, I can't take something away from you or give you something that you already have. Okay? You need to understand that you're already a multidimensional being. And I know this so deeply in my soul. Like other things, I'm like, oh, question, do your own research. But this in particular is just so deeply in resonance. And the reason why I know this for a fact is because I have done years and years of astral travel and remote view going into the past of human hidden history, okay? So things like ancient Maya, ancient Greece, ancient Italy, ancient Egypt, okay? I've explored these different eras of ancient human history, and I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that there were Palladians, there were angels, there were Anunnaki, and kind of still are reptilians, here on this planet, and greys as well. And the reason why they were here on this planet, the reason why they were interacting with human beings is because they helped to advance our genetic genome. They helped to advance us from the bipedal, Neanderthal beings that we were into these multifaceted, high IQ, high functioning, spiritually and technologically developed beings that we are today. I know for a fact that we have interdimensional DNA within us. And I also know that this information is going to be exposed. And I really feel like this information of us having interdimensional DNA will be exposed definitely in our lifetime, but I'm more so hoping within the next 10 years, but we'll see, right? I mean, right now, science calls this DNA, this 90% DNA junk, right? Oh, don't worry about that stuff. That's just junk DNA, right? And I believe that that's interdimensional, okay? So once again, you are already a multidimensional being. I can't give that to you and I can't take that away from you. That is just your natural state. Okay, good. Now that we've got that, let's just talk about the definition. I want to define just in my own terms, as I, always like doing, right? The definitions. And it's kind of silly. I wrote the definition down. I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what it is. And then I reread the definition. I'm like, yeah, of course that's what it is. Okay. So my definition of being multidimensional is existing in more than one dimension. Mind-blowing, right? What is multidimensional, ism? Existing in more than one dimension, right? So it's really simple, but it's also exactly what it is, okay? So when we enter into this phase of our existence where we are all multi-dimensional beings, and like I said, we already are, but expressing every aspect of our multidimensionality, we are existing in more than one dimension at a time. And when you take a look at the room that you're in, could be a bedroom, could be, I don't know where else you would be, could be a living room, could be outdoors, right? Wherever you are watching this, whether it be live or after. And hi, Miles, thank you for being a new teacher, a new member. So no matter where you are watching this, I want you to just take a second to take a look at the room around you. Okay. And in your mind, I want you to list off the things that are in your room. Like I'm in this, what is it? Just an open space, right? So we've got a fridge, a computer, a couch, we've got a cactus plant out there, and so this is where I am. If you are sucked into the matrix, then all you're going to believe is what you see in front of you. And if you are caught up in this illusionary reality, then you're going to convince yourself that this is all that there is. And the only reason why you are only seeing the physical reality in front of you right now in this moment is because you are currently existing only in this physical reality. Does that make sense? When we start expressing every aspect of our multidimensionality, we begin to experience the multidimensionality of this reality around us. And thank you so much, Sharma, for that beautiful super chat. As always, totally unnecessary, but very, very great, very appreciated. What we don't really realize is that our physical reality also has layers of multiple different dimensions stacked on top of each other, all coexisting simultaneously. And thank you so much, Isabel, for that beautiful super chat as well. Right? So when we express our multidimensional selves, then we start to see the multidimensionality of our reality expressing in front of us. Okay, we're going to get to what that looks like. We're going to get there. What else did I want to mention here? Okay. I also want to give you a couple of other terms to think about when considering becoming multidimensional. Okay, this is really important. I was meditating on this before this video, and these are the words that came through. Other words for multidimensional: pure light, 5D, psychic, right? Quantum, crystalline, and cosmic family. So being multidimensional literally just means that you are sitting in the vibration of pure light, of just pureness, okay? Pure light. And that light frequency is also pure crystalline frequency. And that pure crystalline frequency is just your soul's frequency. And your soul's frequency is the collective frequency on the planet. And the collective frequency on the planet is mirroring the collective consciousness out there in the universe, okay? Literally, becoming multidimensional basically just means you are sitting above the polarity of this third dimension density. And when you sit above it, you can play with it. So in a way, when I say play the game of being a human, It doesn't mean just being a multidimensional being and saying, I don't need food, I don't need my morning coffee, I don't need this or that or whatever, right? It's not just about that. It's about choosing consciously to dive into the polarity of this 3D matrix and playing with it, playing with polarity. You can only ever have fun and play with polarity if you're above polarity. No one's having fun in polarity. You see that rabbit? No one's having fun in polarity if they're stuck in it, if they're sucked into it. No one, that's not fun for anyone, right? But when you're above it, you're like, oh, I just got into a car accident because that's a lesson I have to learn. Cool. You're playing with it, okay? So be aware of that. The other concept that really came up here during the meditation that I had right before this was unconditional. This word unconditional equates also to multidimensional. Unconditional, multidimensional, okay? And it was weird. I had to kind of sift through this. I had to sift through this information. And what came through is that in a limited linear third dimension reality, we only believe that one thing or another thing is possible. And thank you so much, Kim, for that beautiful donation. I see some donations popping up here. So once again, conditional, right? The third dimension density is conditional. You either have or you don't have, right? It's one or the other. It's limited. It's linear. It's one after the other, okay? Multidimensional means unconditional, right? Unconditional. So in your old paradigms, in your old self, if I asked you, could you love someone romantically and also love someone else romantically simultaneously at the same time, right? And I'm not talking about polyamory or anything like that. I'm just talking literally, like, do you think, even now, do you think that you could love two people at the same time? Most of us, myself included, would say no. You know, no, I'm committed, but I'm committed to that one person. And if I love someone else, then I wouldn't be committed to that. And then I would be confused, right? It'd be very difficult. Thank you so much for that super chat, Julia. It'd be difficult, right? When we enter into a multidimensional state, we enter into this realm of unconditional. So if you don't think that you can love two people at the same time, well, think about you loving your mom and you loving your brother and you loving your best friend and you loving your romantic partner. The love that you have for each of these people shouldn't be different. But in a limited, linear, third dimensional way, it always is different. Because the love that you have for your best friend is, well, she's my best friend. I expect her to be there for me. I expect that she is going to, support me in times of need. So what does that mean? That's a conditional expectation that you're having on someone that you love. Or your mother. Well, I mean, my mom should be giving me money every time I ask for it because that's the motherly duty. She needs to take care of me. And it's funny because, you're going to laugh, but I've been watching like little clips of Dr. Phil recently. And I'm really curious about human psychology, right? So it's actually quite humoring to watch Dr. Phil. And so there's a lot of interesting dynamics there. But once again, when a child is 25 or 35 and saying, well, my mom needs to be supporting me because she's my mother. That's a conditional form of love. Oh, well, I'm going to continue to support my son because he's my son. That's a conditional form of love, right? And that's a limited linear version of your reality. When you become multidimensional, hi mom, I love you. When you become multidimensional, you enter into a phase of unconditions. There's no conditions. Hi, Galactic Federation. Thank you for that super chat and that cute little fox. When you enter into multidimensionality, you enter into unconditionality, okay? So I have homework for all of you, all right? This is a perfect time. You're all in quarantine. You have zero excuse, okay? Zero excuse not to do this homework. And thank you, Greg, for that beautiful super chat as well. Gratitude. So homework here for you. Okay, I want you to sit in meditation, sit throughout your day, think about it, dive deep, and I want you to ask yourself, what in your life do you have conditions on? Now, it's easy to have conditions on the people that we love, right? Because there's kind of this it's indoctrinated into us. It's built into us that we need to have conditions on the people that we love. But I want you to also think about the inanimate objects in your life. And I'll give you a really funny example. I have conditions on my computer. And part of the conditions that I have is I spent a lot of money on this desktop computer, a couple years ago, but still, I spent a lot of hard-earned money on that desktop. And then when the computer doesn't work, I get angry, right? And you kind of have to ask yourself, right? Well, why am I getting angry? Oh, because I had expectations that computer was going to work in every moment. And the expectations are based on the money, the value system that I put into it. And I expect that it should always be there for me. And then it gets me upset. If you let go of all conditions on every inanimate object in your life, in every human in your life, especially the conditions that you put on yourself, which means the obligations, the attachments, the expectations, you start to become a multidimensional being. Unconditional love, unconditional connection, unconditional gratitude. You're not just grateful because you get something, you're grateful in general all the time. Then you can start receiving, okay? That's how it works. Okay, good. So I really want you to think about multidimensional also being unconditional, okay? Okay, good. I also wanted to mention here too, I just have it written down, being multidimensional is easy. It's easy. It is your natural state of being, okay? Being multidimensional is actually a hell of a lot easier than being one-dimensional. And the reason why most of you as starseeds and light beings and old souls have struggled in your life is because you're trying to always struggle to fit in. Am I wearing the right thing? Am I exercising enough? Am I eating the right things? Am I impressing my boss? Does my mom love me? It's so much. It's so much. We're always trying to conform and fit into everyone else's projected limitations to convince ourselves that we belong here on this planet. And if you're a starseed, you volunteered to be here. If you're a starseed, it's going to be tough for you to be here. It's going to be tough and has been tough for you to fit in. There is going to be no fitting in here, right? You have to accept that. You have to accept that you're different. You have to accept that you have a mission, and you have to stop trying to conform yourself. Because the more you try and fit a square peg into a round hole, the more difficult it's going to be. You're making your life more complicated by putting pressure and expectation on yourself that you should be like everyone else, right? So I want to give you an example because it just kind of popped in my mind. If you go into a boardroom meeting and say you're some sort of professional or you're in the corporate world, and you go into a boardroom meeting and you've got all your colleagues there and you have this brilliant idea and you think that this idea is really going to take your company to the next level. But you're kind of always, put aside, you're kind of always suppressed in the boardroom meeting. And there's all these bros and they're all like, yeah, this and then that and then that and then that. And then it's your time to talk, right? Scientific studies have actually shown that we as human beings are way more likely to conform ourselves to the general population or to the general consensus or to the general agreement of the room because it's that pack mentality, it's that horde mentality. We want to belong, right? So most of the time, all of us will actually suppress our great idea and our, way to be unique and shine bright in order to just fit in, right? You're limiting yourself. You're making it more difficult on yourself because you're not allowing yourself to be the true essence of your soul, right? It's easier to be multidimensional. It's easier to be weird, okay, than it is to conform. So let go of that. Be very aware of what you're obligating yourself towards. Be very aware of the conditions that you put on yourself and literally just stop putting those conditions on yourself, okay? Okay, good. Stop limiting yourself. All right, let's get to the nitty gritty. Let's just deep dive into it. I hope you guys have a notebook and a pen just to write some of this stuff down. Like I've said before, especially with the Galactic Federation, these 3 steps to really express your multidimensional selves, they are little tiny zip files compacted full of information, and this is something that you have to sit on and meditate on in order to fully integrate and then realize into your fullest expression. What I mean by that is that these steps may not be super tangible or super obvious right off the bat, so please sit with it, okay? Okay, so the first step to your fullest expression of becoming multidimensional is, seriously, this is like the biggest step. Let go of your current one-dimensional reality. Let go of your reality, okay? Step number 1 to becoming multidimensional is let go of your current reality. Okay, now most of us are being forced to do that right now. And you may ask, well, what does that mean? What does that look like to let go of our current reality? I mean, what is that really? You know, and ultimately what that is or what that means is let go of the day-to-day structure, let go of the day-to-day attachments, let go of your day-to-day your identity. That's really what it is. And now, right now, most of you are being forced to have this. Most of you are being forced to break this down. Most of you are being forced to let go of your day-to-day reality. So it's going to be really easy right now to do this, right? Letting go of the 9 to 5, letting go of the identity of your work life, letting go of the identity of your family life, letting go of the identity of your, I'm going to work out every day and be a super fit human, or I'm not going to work out at all. Whatever that identity is, let it go. It no longer serves you. Let go of the expectations that you have on yourself to adhere to a certain identity. Okay, it all just rolls into together. So stop getting sucked into the matrix and let go of anything that is linear and anything that is singular, okay? The biggest thing right now is don't get trapped up into the individual aspects of your reality. Try and rise above the individual aspects of your reality and understand the bigger picture of it, right? Is the glass half full or is it half empty? When you become a multidimensional self, the glass is actually half full and half empty simultaneously, and you have the knowledge to perceive it in any way that you want. If you want to be poor me that day and you want to say that the glass is half empty, play within that reality, okay? Play within it. But if you're currently sucked in your reality and you're not aware of it, you're not playing the game, you are the game, right? You're not programming the game, you're playing it, right? You're limited, okay? So step number 1 to become multidimensional is let go of your current reality. Let go of your current limitations. Let go of your current identity. It's the fastest way by breaking down to break through this matrix, okay? Step number 2, consider all possibilities. Super important, okay? Step number 2 to becoming multidimensional is to consider all possibilities, okay? This is a huge one. There's a lot packed into this. Okay, so I recommend for each of you to gain as much knowledge as possible, which, to be honest, most of you, especially in the past 3 years, has been doing just this, okay? Just that, is gaining all knowledge. So, like I mentioned in a couple of videos ago, now is your time to become a conspiracy theorist. Okay, now is your time to dive into the realms of the dark, to dive into paranormal and ghosts and reptilian shapeshifters and the Illuminati and shadow governments and all of that. And then also to dive into everything that's light and beautiful and gorgeous, like the Galactic Federation and the Palladians and nature and animals and souls and consciousness and, and telepathy and meditation. Okay, if I tell you, just go light, just dive into the light side, just love light, rainbows, butterflies, you wouldn't be a multidimensional being. You would still be a one-dimensional being, okay? So please gain access to both sides of the picture, right? And do your research. Go out there, honestly consume everything, and then step back from that and work with your discernment, work with your intuition to sift out what feels right for you. If you are only sucked into the dark, or you're only sucked into the light, you're still only a one-dimensional being, and you're still only limiting yourself into one realm of reality. You're just entering into a new matrix, and no one wants that, okay? Become above the matrix. That's what you want. Okay, good. The other thing too that I want to just mention, kind of taking it a step further with really being aware of all possibilities. Now, when I said dive into conspiracy theories, but also dive into, spiritual light or what have you, that's great, but that's still only the realms that you can experience and believe in this reality. I want to ask all of you, okay? Do you believe, and I want you to answer this and I know that I'm going to get a bunch of yeses, but I really actually want to ask you this, and I want you to really dive deep into your soul. And it's kind of a silly question, but do you believe that you can fly? I'm talking physically in this density, fly, levitate off of the ground. Do you believe, and I want you to comment below, seriously, do you believe that it is possible that you can actually fly, in your dreams, that you do in your dreams? Do you believe that it's possible to levitate off the ground? Okay, good. With enough mind power. I do now. Ooh, very cool. Yes, a couple yeses. Good. Okay. A lot of yeses. Okay, good. Good. So the reason why I ask is because if you truly believed that you could fly, you would be flying. You would be doing it. If I told you, and for whatever reason you believed that the sky was purple, you would be seeing it as purple. We need to understand that our physical reality is constructed by our internal thoughts, okay? If you believe that an interdimensional being could pop up in your living room, then guess what? One is going to pop up in your living room because you understand that it's possible. There's a lot of people out there that don't even believe that aliens exist. So guess what? When there's a bunch of, UFOs flying over their house, they don't see it. And yet all of their neighbors who do believe that it's possible are seeing it, right? We cannot experience a multidimensional reality, and I'm talking physical reality where we're physically manifesting our best lives. We cannot create a multidimensional physical reality without understanding and knowing that anything is possible within the confines of this reality. And then we start experiencing it. If we understand it's possible, then and only then do we start experiencing it, not the other way around, right? So the whole I need to see it to believe it, it's a lie. It's never going to happen. Or, hey, Dane, thank you so much for that beautiful super chat. Or Dana. So I want to say, okay, all of those people who are like, well, I'm only going to love myself once I have the body that I want, or once I lose 10 pounds. It's never going to happen. Love yourself now, then the body that you want will be created. That is how manifestation works, okay? Consider all possibilities within this reality, and then you can start experiencing it, okay? The third step, so once again, step number 1, let go of your current reality. Step number 2, consider all possibilities, and I'm talking all possibilities, okay? Step number 3 is raise your vibration. To become multidimensional, you need to raise your vibrational frequency. And also, in order to raise your vibration, you need to practice being in a quantum state, okay? And thank you, Disguise the Limit. That was a beautiful super chat. Okay, so once again, you need to practice being in a quantum state in order to experience your multidimensionality, okay? And in order to practice being in a quantum state, which is just a state of being simultaneous, where both space and time don't exist, where those old limiting beliefs and that self-sabotage and your mom over here and your brother over here, whatever, none of that exists. So when you practice this state of being quantum, of being in 0-point frequency, of being neutral to the world around you, anything is possible. I swear something just fell behind me, but that was weird. Okay, so the biggest thing as far as raising your vibration and practicing a quantum state is listening, okay? Listen, listen, listen. Listen to the reality around you, okay? And and so anything that you can do where you lose track of time, like literally anything, you could do anything to be in a quantum state. So walking in nature, right? And you're like, oh my God, has it been 3 hours already? Cooking. I don't know about you guys, but I cook and I'm like, whoa, it's been an hour and I've been prepping or whatever it may be, right? When you're losing grips on space and time, you enter into a quantum state. Okay, so please be aware. And someone said playing music. Absolutely, you enter into a quantum state. Meditating, quantum state. Writing in your journal, quantum state. Okay, there's so many things that can allow us to enter into a quantum state. I would honestly, and I hate saying this, but I'm going to say it, I would honestly even say that binge watching Netflix is entering you into a quantum state. Are we aware of our thoughts when we're just mindlessly watching Netflix all day? No. But do space and time exist when we're watching Netflix all day? No, it does not. It's a quantum state. Okay? When we're in that quantum state, we can utilize that to be anywhere, to do anything, and to manifest the life that we want to live moving forward. Okay? Drawing, art, quantum state. Okay? So are you going to accept the reality that you have at face value? Or are you going to question why? Are you going to question how? Are you going to accept this reality? Or are you going to dive a little bit deeper? And I know that you're here, and thank you, Sylvia, for that. I know that you're here to dive a little bit deeper. I know that you're here to explore. But the biggest thing is, don't get sucked into one limited, singular state of being or another. Do your research, yes, but don't get sucked into, this is the truth. Everyone has to know it. It's not about that. It's about feeling calm. It's about feeling empowered. And it's about feeling in control of every aspect of the multidimensional reality that each of us are existing in. So once again, number 1, let go of your current reality. Step number 2, consider all possibilities. Understand what is possible out there in the universe and in this reality. And step number 3 is raise your vibration by practicing just being in a quantum state. No attachment, no expectations, just being. And with that being said, I love you all so much. Thank you to all my members. Thank you to all my new members. Thank you for all of the donations and super chats. Always very appreciated and very grateful for that. Keep up your vibrations, guys. This is the time. We are seriously here. If you talk to any spiritual light worker, being, channeler, interdimensional, they will all tell you that this is the most exciting time to be alive. I didn't think we were going to see this kind of, era for years and years to come. And I am super pumped that it is here right now. And we are all a part of it. You are all starseeds and you're being called into action right now at this time. Keep up the good work, everyone. Keep maintaining your vibration and do not sabotage yourself. Do not sacrifice yourself. This is the time for you to flourish. And by you flourishing, you're allowing the greater collective to flourish as well. Bye for now.